Hello everyone, my name is Val and today I am happy to present to you the 10-year anniversary re-release of Nomad Cosmetics. These three palettes were originally brought in like 2021 or something like that, and now they got a makeover because that's 10 years anniversary, so congratulations to brand Nomad of being 10 years in the market, being so wonderful and growing more. And these palettes were sent to me, so I'm really thankful to the brand for allowing me to do this because I'm just super happy to work together and present to you something interesting. We will do 2 looks per palette, and this look is also done with Nomad Cosmetics. If you're interested to see what they are, what I will create with them, what I think about them, about the pricing, about the grams, and etc., please keep on watching and let's begin from the first. So, it is very weird to be back, and I have to apologize if I sound a bit wrong. I am slightly sick still, but I cannot sit in one place and just do nothing, so I am starting something. And today our something is actually Berlin Underground. The palette itself is called Berlin Untergrund, and it's mostly German. My German is unfortunately not at the very high level right now. It's my 3rd language, and I just passed B1 for it. And I'm still learning, so if I pronounce something wrong, I do apologize for that. And let's just begin. As usually, I will be starting with mattes. I will try to use as many mattes as possible, but it will be quite a chaotic experience, which we start with right away. It's called the Chaos Day, and I am blending it into my crease, basically all over it. It's a very nice shade that blends into skin, but at the same time it has a slightly mustard hint to it. I kind of enjoy it. It's very interesting, and I'm using the shade Helden or Hayden. Helden. Helden is next into the inner corner. It will be a base for later, and it will be a transition shade for the lower lid, which I will do later. Then I'm gonna take the shade Oranienstraße. It will be the second part of the crease on the outer edge, and there I'm just building the shape I need, basically. Nothing too special, I'm just placing it there and dragging with the brush. These are all eyeshadow. It's very easy to work with. You don't need a very specific things. You can work with any brushes you like. It's very blendable, very easy to work with. So it's nothing crazy that is happening here. To the bottom lid, I want to use the shade NDW. I'm not quite sure what it means. If you know what it means, please let me know as well. I will really appreciate that. Then I'm going to take the shade Clubnacht. And this will be my kind of a shade for the wing. I'm trying to keep like a wing basically here, and I'm not blending anything yet. It will be later. So right now my idea is to bring things together and later blend them. I'm taking back the shade Oranienstraße and just blending the black and the green and all of that stuff together. And to finish up with the blending, I will use the same Chaos Tage to bring things to a more blended condition, so to say. It's just very nice shade that allows to blend into the skin, and I think we need to utilize this possibility as much as possible. So, on this note, I think we can start with our sparkles. I did not notice too many things being like duochromes, multichromes, which means I can use multiple sparkles on the lid to create such an effect. And I'm gonna do that. I kind of separated this palette into the cool side and warm side, and I'm gonna use the shades from the warm side first. Doesn't mean that I do precisely amazing job or anything, but bear with me. I'm starting with the shade Tacheles, and it will be the outer edge, the outer V shade. Then I'm going into the shade SO36, but this is actually not very fitting to the top lid, and we will leave it for later. Right now I'm applying it because I did this mistake, and I'm telling you that it's not the shade we need right now. So instead we're gonna choose Poor But Sexy, and I will cover up the previous shade with it, blending it into the I'm not sure if it's bronze or like something else, but the previous Tacheles. And that gold is really warm and nice. I enjoy how it looks. and it will just take the main stage right now in the center of the lid. Then I'm going into the shade Deutsch Punk. Deutsch Punk is setting almost up till the inner corner, just very nicely blendable shades. Then I'm taking the shade Kreuzberg, and that shade is, I think, duochrome. It has a transparent base, it's very nice and sparkly, and I think this is the duochrome shade that they were talking about, because this is a relaunch and the original palette didn't have it, but now we can probably see that it's there. So that's the idea for now. And onto the bottom lid, as I said, I'm gonna apply the shade SO36. This is more on the green side. It's a greenish gold, something like an antique gold that is tarnished and with a bit of patina on it. So I think it fits to the green very nicely. And that will conclude the main makeup. I think I will add a wing into here. That will just be like an S shape. So I want to outline this whole thing. And I think in my hands this is still more or less wearable. If you apply it to the base, like a white base or a colored base, this will be much more intense. But this is not I will not count it as a review. As for the look, yes, but I want to see how the shadows perform on their own without additional support of colored base. And this is why I am doing it like so. So after I do the wing, I will come back with the finished face and we will talk about it a bit. So this is the look. Once again, I apologize for my voice. I cannot control it right now, and I'm not sure if I'm sounding normal or not so normal. So the look seems very cool. Actually, it's very warm, but it seems really cool. It's like a sunset makeup. I see a sun with this, yeah, it's a sunset. It's something really nice looking, but at the same time, it gives me a bit of a bird of paradise, parrots kind of thing because of the green on the lower lid. And I used, if I'm not mistaken, about 9 shades on my eyelids today, which is like majority of the palette. So you can imagine that this palette is quite an interesting one. They are sparkles. From afar they can look more satin, but actually they are sparkling, very brightly sparkling. I'm touching the video in macro so you can see. This is one of those eyeshadow for yourself, as I say. And I'm super happy with how it looks. It just blends very nicely, very easily. This is not like Bella. It's not pigment, it's an eyeshadow. It's very easy to work with. It's just couple brush strokes and you're ready. It's done. Like nothing else needed. Super, super nice to work with, like pure pleasure. And the color story, as you can see, is working with each other really nicely too. I went by the color wheel basically, so we have the orange to yellow to green, and green goes to the darker one, and then it connects through brownish to orange again. So it makes the circle, makes the wheel. So I am really enjoying that. I think it looks awesome and it doesn't want to crease. I'm generally convinced that Nomad eyeshadow doesn't want to crease, so this is not something out of the way. And as I said, it's very easy to work with. So I'm super happy about that. I did not have the original Berlin Underground palette. I heard there are some differences and between this one that is relaunched and the one that was originally there. I unfortunately cannot compare, cannot tell you exactly what is the difference. I can tell just that the shade Kreuzberg is duochroming like crazy, especially on the swatch on my finger when I did the swatch. And I can see a lot of multicolored sparkles and sparkles in general in this palette compared to what I heard was before a satin. And also there were less matte shades, now there are more matte shades, and I cannot say what's the difference between the matte shades, but I can tell that it's enjoyable. You get it in a bit of a chaos and then you start working with it and it all comes together. This is really something that I enjoy about Nomad palettes in general. So far, so good. I'm pretty happy with the makeup. I cannot tell anything bad at all. I did not expect Berlin Underground to be this sunset, this summer kind of stuff. I did not expect that. We still have like 6 shades maybe to touch, which is another look which I will do next, hopefully. Maybe I will not be able to do it today, but we will see. And right now, I think that's so far it. I am really, really happy with the outcome and how everything looks and how everything blends. So this is something really cool. So what else do I have on my face? The foundation today is actually She Glam in Porcelain together with the Essence Stick Foundation in number 20. They work okay together. They blend nicely. I first work with a brush, then use a sponge. As my contour today, I have Sephora Contour Stick in Fair to Light. This is a common theme for the past couple videos at least, since I got it. Then I wanted something more neutral for the blush, because I wanted to keep the focus on the eyes with all these yellows and warm tones and gold and yeah, everything like that. So I used a Kaleidos Pearl Bliss. I think it's a very nice neutral blush. So it's slightly more peach, but at the same time it's kind of more neutral, and I really like to pair it with some bolder looks when you don't need blush to be so attention grabbing. And to match a bit of gold on my eyelids, I used the Rodeo Drive by Ofra. And for the face, this is pretty much it. Now for the lips, I used BFF3 by Colourpop. It's like a caramel. It's not exactly brown, but it's a caramel shade. And on top of that, I used Kaleidos Skinny Dip, because it also kind of a beige something. It ties the things together. I think it looks, it matches these outer edges, and I wanted to just have something that is not going against the vibe and against this eye look. So this is how I basically choose things. They should go either together or they should be on opposite side of the color wheel. It's just color wheel, color theory, nothing too crazy basically. How I choose products and how I create my looks. But this is probably it for now. I am fully happy. I think that turned out really nice. I am surprised. This is Berlin. I've never been to Berlin, even though I'm living in Germany for the past 5.5 years. But that's just life. You don't really travel around when you're working and doing all of life stuff. But I like how it looks. I am fully happy with how it works. Like, I don't have anything else. Hopefully I can do another look today. I have to rush through this because it's 3 palettes and I can do 2 looks per palette, unfortunately, right now. I think I will be able to do more, but in scope of the review, 2 per palette is maximum I can do right now to actually make nice looks, use as much shades as possible, and at the same time not try to use the whole palette in one look, you know, and not do one eye and the second eye different. I don't like that. So let's see what the cool side will bring us, and hopefully this will be still today. If not, then oh well, we will do that tomorrow. In any case, I'll see you in a couple seconds. So it is midnight and I'm going to do one more look today, and it's gonna be something dark and smoky because that's what I see is left in this shade. So I'm gonna start with the shade Chaos Tiger, and this will be my crease shade. It will be the blending shade into the skin so that it will be just easier to place the black after. Then, of course, I'm going into the shade Clubnacht. It's quite a nice dark black, but it's not absolutely unblendable black, if you know what I mean. So I'm starting with the lash line and slowly bringing it up. Then I'm just wiping the brush over Odin's Eye brush cleaner. It's basically just a sponge with some texture, and it allows me to get the rid of the extra pigment from the brush so that I can use it more. And after that, I'm going back and forth with the Clubnacht, just blending it into the crease, trying not to go over my crease too much. I want to concentrate the black in the crease, so that will be the idea. And I'm returning to the shade Chaos Tiger just because I need to blend out edges a bit more, and I'm trying to keep everything within my eye shape, so I'm checking where exactly my lower lid is so that I can also repeat it there. So this will be another chaotic makeup, And let's start with the shade Love Parade. Love Parade is multicolored sparkles that I saw on the swatch. It's the most interesting shade right here. So I'm going to try to use it as the main lid shade. And it's gonna be just in the center. To the sides from it, I'm gonna use the shade Techno. And from both sides from purple, I'm using that shade Techno. This will allow to have somewhat a DIY multichrome kind of effect, and generally I think it's just good, nice option. And the last shade into the main lid that I'm going to use will be the shade East Side Gallery. This is the very outer corner and inner corner, so just the corners of the eye, and I'm going to leave it there. Then I was thinking that the shade The Wall is the Berlin Wall, and it has a base, but this base is somewhat similar to what I see from the Chaos Tagger, so I will try to place it there. I don't think it will look extremely good, but I wanted to use all the missing shades in this look, so that's what I'm going to do, no matter the outcome in this scenario, unfortunately, or fortunately. So doing exactly that, and then we're left with the shade Hansa, and Hansa I'm placing to the bottom lid, just as easy as this. We have a bit of a mix of everything, and I need to work through my waterline on both sides, the lash line to be more black, to outline everything. I think I may use some blue lenses today with this, and after I'm done, I will come back with a finished result. So this is the look, and I feel myself a bit like Taylor Momsen, you know, the Pretty Reckless band, and she is using very dark black smoky eyes. These ones are more on the festive side. If you look in close-ups, it's like a firework on your eyelids because it has multicolored sparkles. It sparkles like crazy from all the dimensions. I had a feeling when the hard light was shining onto me, I had a feeling that I have these sparkles even in my eyeballs, because like it's everything is just sparkling like crazy. It's not the most cohesive, but it's more like a punk makeup, I would say. So I would definitely wear this to some like punk rock concert, metal, anything, and it will look organic in there. So I am really enjoying it. The blending was super easy for the shades. It's eyeshadow. It's nothing crazy. You don't have to do anything crazy with them. You just need to slightly work with the brush. Fluffy brush, all good, all easy, very chill. And the shiny shades are also very easy to apply, and they are great looking. I did a bit of cheating and I've added the shade Kreuzberg to the inner corner. That's why I have this ghost green, that something green is in my makeup, even though there was nothing green added. So the ghost green is a special shade today. It's very interesting. I enjoy this look. This is right up my alley, and this is how I prefer to look sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. So no creasing or anything so far. It's all good. Everything is great. I am super pleased with everything, and this palette truly surprised me, but it also showed the punk side to the fullest. I can tell I enjoy this. On my eyelashes today, you see how defined the lower lashes are, and like the lashes themselves are just super cool looking today. This is because of this. I did not believe it at first, but this is my second bottle, and it's Huda Beauty One Coat Wow in Very Vanta. And this, either the formula or the brush, is so interesting that it just covers your eyelashes in those thick coat, and your lashes just become very prominent. It's good. I definitely recommend that. As far as I bought the second one, I definitely recommend that if you are into such full lashes covered completely in mascara. Then what else do I have on my face? So the same two foundations, Essence and She Glam, the same Sephora contour stick. As blush today I have NARS Zen, and it's very neutral shade. It's nothing super crazy, just a bit of a neutrality, and it kind of disappears from my face a bit, so you have to take it into consideration. I would have left it without, but because of this brown leather kind of brown, I thought that I can add something like that, and that is also the reason I chose brown lips, which I will come to a bit later. My highlighter today is Jubilant Chorus tie-dye highlighter because I needed something smooth. We have a lot of sparkles on the eyes already. I did not need anything more sparkly, so I chose a very smooth highlighter. And for the lips today, I have my favorite Endless Cacao pencil by Makeup Forever, and on top of that I have MAC Stone, my lipstick. It's Maximal Slick Satin lipstick. A very nice formula. It's not exactly matte, it's satin as it says. And I'm pairing brown to brown because yeah, it makes sense to me. That's just how I work. Nothing else to say, honestly. But yeah, that's the look and that's the Berlin palette. I'm super happy with Berlin Underground. What do you think so far about it? I used all the shades in these two looks. It's only two looks, unfortunately, but I cannot contribute more time in order to make this video big. Like, it will be big anyway. It's 6 makeup looks in one. But I could not contribute more to each look so that I fit into my own deadlines. I have a lot of work and I'm actually quite excited about it, but it also takes a lot of time and I have to sacrifice something. It's just how life works. Okay, for now I think that is it. Tomorrow we will do 2 looks with the Provence and I really like this color story. I think I will do something interesting with it. I hope so. So I'll see you in the next look tomorrow. So I am back. A ghost rider with a pale horse. I am the pale horse in this scenario. I'm still coughing a bit, so I'm sorry for my sounding or whatever. If I'm not sounding correctly, I mean. So we are starting with our Fêtes de Provence. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing things right. I did not practice French for quite some time, since school, basically. And that is why I will try to pronounce something, but that doesn't mean that I know how to pronounce it or that is correct. So I'm gonna start with a regular gradient, basically. I think it's probably gonna be looking almost similar to what Berlin offers us from what I see. The small issue that I see in this palette is that these 2 shades of Vendange and Macarons, they are on the same level. They're like taking from different colors but on the same level, if you know what I mean. And they are not, it's like one is not darker than the other, so you cannot really use one to darken up the other, but they can be placed near each other and then they should work in theory. So let's start exactly with that. I think I will do the pink on the I will try to do the pink first. Everything goes not according to the plan and there is no exact plan anyway, so whatever works gonna be working. So Vendange I'm placing into the outer third of my eye. This will be just a base shade. At the opposite side of the same brush I'm taking the next shade, which is Macarons, and this will be like a more of a darkening in this scenario. Not exactly, but almost. And this will go to the bottom lid and the rest will go to the top lid. So after Macarons is there, I used a lot. It's very stretchy shade, it's very pigmented, and you can work, like a little goes a long way, as it said, so it's very stretchy. Next I'm taking the shade Calisons, and it's like a salmon color, very nice, slightly peachy. And it's gonna be next one. After that I think I will go to the Miel de Lavande, which is yellow, more like a honey yellow, honey mustard yellow maybe. And after that, into the inner corner, I'm taking the Champs de Tournesol. Tournesol, I'm not sure if that's the right one, but I think it's supposed to be the sunflower. So it's like fields of sunflower, I assume. And into the bottom lid on opposite side, I will take the shade Rose or Rosé. I think it is Rosé. It's actually very hard to read from the table where the palette lies. And I am just taking a fluffy brush that is empty and blending the edges of all of that. You don't have to have a shade going into your skin all the time. It is nice to have it, but it's not a necessity. So you need to accept that fact, I guess. And I also need to accept that fact, that not every palette actually needs that, and this more of an accent, very interesting summery palette. Anyway, now when it's more or less blended, I used a lot and I made a bit of a mess on the outer edge, but it's okay. We will go into the shiny shades. The Fleur de Mimosa is gonna be the inner corner one. It's gonna be like DIY duochrome as well, because I want to use as many shades as possible, but we are focusing on the first 9 in this look. And into it I will try to blend the shade Navette. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation either, but this gotta go. This gotta do. So, into the bottom lid, went onto nice pink. I will place the shade Flûte Arc-en-Ciel, and that will conclude the shades for this look, pretty much. I would still need to do an eyeliner here. I actually want to add some white here. I'm not sure how exactly I'm gonna do that, but I will think about it. And after that I will come back to you with the finished face. This is the makeup I created. And the only thing I actually added is this liner in neon yellow. It's actually Handayan aqua liner, so it's water activated paint, and I always take water activated paints to the pieces of my face, to the areas of my eyes which do not move. If they move too much, the aqua liner may not behave very well. For that purpose I would recommend something like a gel or cream mixed with Duraline to make it a bit more durable. And it is what it is. This aqua liner is not the sturdy one, and I'm not placing it anywhere where the eye can run or where it can be smudged and things like that. And just my personal preference, let's say. I kind of think that it looks similar to the first look I did in terms of the sunset makeup, but this one is much more summery. It's so bright, it's so full of life, like a cocktail. It reminds me of some cocktail, but I don't remember which one. But in any case, I think it's really nice. The only downside I see is the texture of the sparkles. It's a bit harder to work with, and I think it's best to work with fingers. Unfortunately, there is nothing else that is as good as your own finger to apply such shades. And with the flat brush I tried, it's not as good. And with the silicone brush, as you can see, it also kind of slightly weird. If you need it packed, if you need it properly set, I think it's best to apply it with a finger, unfortunately. It's like you cannot do anything. There is a bit of a texture you need to work through, and you need something. So I think it turned out really nice. It's looking good, and I'm really in the mood of like a festival kind of stuff in the summer, and I really want some cocktail. This is just what it gives me. But blends nicely, absolutely nicely, and the shades themselves are really bright and good. For yellow, for most yellows in the market, like in all markets and all brands, you need a base. In any case for the yellow, you need a base. This is just what it is. This is nothing to do with Nomad Cosmetics specifically. It's just the pigment of yellow is the most problematic in this regard. And if you have a base, like a white base or a yellow base, under your yellow eyeshadow, it will be bright as hell. Not precisely, but you know what I mean. Other than that, I think it's very, very pretty. It's working great. It's an eyeshadow. It's just there for you. Just use it and blend it and be happy if you love this palette. It's a very pretty one. One more look left with this one. It's gonna be on the darker side with the purples and lavender and a bit of black and blue, but I think it should look good anyway. And the only downside, the only thing I want to try is not to do a smoky eye, to not repeat myself once again, because the yellow corner already been in the first look. But anyway, I just love it. I love how it looks, and I'm super into it. I think this palette looks good. I also changed the background color to match kind of the purple Provence thing, because there is a bit of a lilac here, like a purplish lilac, and I tried to match it there. So that's it. What else do I have on my face? Today as the foundation I have a mix of a Bobbi Brown with MAC Studio Face and Body Foundation. It's one of the best ways, and I love how it looks on my face. even more than the sticks. I just love it more. Contours, same Sephora stick. I think I bought another one. Not that I need it right now, but I kind of just did. Okay. I have this She Glam guava juice. It's very, very creamy and I like the color. On me, it's turning somewhat pink, like you can see a bit here, but I tried it and I looked at it and I thought it's not enough. So I used Kaleida's Dream Walk. Unfortunately, there is no indication of what shade it is, but this is Dream Walk. Purple, the lilac blush on pink cool undertone becomes pink, just so you know. And it looks really nice in my opinion. Then for the highlighter, I have mixed these two from the Dior Universal Highlighter palette. So it's just slightly pink. The overall just very nice one. And on the lips today I have a mix of Colourpop Obvi as a lip liner. As you can see, it's absolutely not matching what's on outside. And then I added the Ooh Baby from Huda Beauty. This is for filler and it actually fills in your cracks on the lips so that it becomes like almost like you have a filler. This is really cool. I love it. That's just my personal preference, of course, but I really like these glosses and I do have like all of them right there. I think there are 11 shades and I have all 11 shades. It's crazy, but I do love this formula. And as you can see, I'm actually using it. So far that's it. That's all I have. That's all I have to say as well. One more, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. And we will move to the parks. But first, let's finish things in France. So, I was not able to do the makeup yesterday. I had a bit of a trouble and couldn't really continue. I'm still trying to get healthy, back to the normal state. So, I'm just taking my time for my head. And today we are going to dive into purplish blue something. And I think it will be something more of a vintage style. That would be the idea, at least. So let's begin with the shade Fêtes de Provence. It's gonna be the darkest purple and I will outline the shape I need with it, where it will be the darkest point. This look is not too crazy, relatively simple I would say, but at the same time I'm not really knowing what I'm doing. You have to give me a bit of a doubt in this regards. So after I placed the darker purple as much as I need, I can take the lavender, Champs de Lavande, and actually start outlining the outer edge. I want it to be soft and nice. Let's try to achieve that. Only the outer side will be in this color. Super pretty lavender color. I am really liking it. And I'm going the outline and I also go underneath my lower lid because that way it will be a bit more on the vintage side. Then I'm taking the shade Côte d'Azur and this will be my main lid shade. It doesn't really matter how you apply this shade because it will not be seen much under the sparkle, but I still want to use it in the makeup and this is why it is here. And then we are pretty much ready to apply our sparkling shades. Boucher de Rosé, I guess it is like that. And it's silverish blue sparkle and I'm gonna apply it all over the lid with my Carl Cosmetics K1 brush. And this is just a simple sparkle, it doesn't have anything else interesting in it. I'm keeping it within the shape and yeah, it's just gonna sparkle really nicely in the bright light. That's gonna be all it can do. And then I'm taking the purple one. Purple has some interesting multicolored sparkles, I think, and I'm gonna use it just in the inner corner and on the bottom lid. It might be possible to use it a bit in the outer edge as well, but in this case it's fine. I think I will be fine with what I have right now. And the black shade that is left, Alps, something, and I'm gonna use it as a shade for the wing. I would still go over with the gel liner, but as a guideline basically for the wing and for the shape, I'm gonna use that on the small brush and just outline a bit of a liner here and there, and they are connecting together slightly in this vintage somewhat form. And I think I really like how it looks, despite the fact that it's not completely 100% insanely beautiful, you know what I mean? So I will add the liner, and after that I will be able to come back with the face, so wait for me. This is the look I came up with at the end. I think it turned out really good. It all kind of goes into the lavender haze something, and I love the colors. I really love these colors. They are very interesting. They're not typical, they are very nice looking. I don't see any creasing or anything, so the shiny shades are behaving really nicely. The purple one in the inner corner and by the lower lid has a lot of little sparkles, and I should have used it all over the lid instead, but you cannot get minced meat back to the normal state. So I'm in any case, in any scenario, I'm really happy about the look, and I like that I used all of the colors from the palette. This is very nice, and I am enjoying the purple, haze, lilac, whatever it is, lavender. Lilac and lavender are only different in tone, right? Like nothing else. So, enjoyable, very nice, very pretty. I like the shape that I used in this scenario. I think I will continue using this under the lower lid outline. It's kind of cool. Also, I used the Lay Low from Mitchell Color Case. It's lilac-y purple. It looks a bit darker, but it's actually lighter on the eyes. And it's in my lower waterline, so that it's kind of matching everything, bringing things together, tying them together, and I like it. This palette turned out to be quite the two different things, I would say. It's on one side it's very bright and summery and cocktaily, and on the other side it's so dreamy lavender haze kind of thing. I'm repeating this all over again, and I'm sorry for that. It's just how the thoughts flow. So I am using the green lenses because I wanted to combine the green with purple. I really like the combination as well. Yellow also is great with purple. We do have yellow color in here. I just didn't want to add it because we already used it kind of, so I wanted to use the shades that I did not use first. And this led to here. I kind of also want something lavender green, lavender yellow, I guess, in the future with this palette. It's just these two looks are too little. I can understand how the eyeshadow work, okay, because I'm familiar with Nomad formula itself, and I can make them work, but it's too little for my creativity, and I would prefer to have like one palette review rather than like few palettes in one review. But I guess life has different plans for me. So, on this note, what else do I have on my face? The same foundation, Bobbi Brown plus MAC Studio Face and Body foundation. I'm extremely happy it's 120 milliliters, and my anxiety is basically happy that this is big bottle, and I'm not yet thinking about the second one, so that's good. It's a very nice mixer, by the way. If you have the foundation that is too dark for you but works with the undertone, you can use this kind of foundation. It's a little bit more dewy than, like if you have matte foundation, then this will add dewiness to it, so it alters the formula, but it doesn't make it bad. And this is one of the good options for mixing the foundation. That's what I do because I don't really have another option, and it just works. I think at least it works. Sephora contour stick as usual, like I'm not changing that for the past, I don't know, few weeks. Then Kaleidos Pale Rose. Pale Rose is supposed to be more pink, but I'm pink in cool undertone, so this doesn't look the same as in the packaging. So on me, as you can see, it's a bit more peachy pink in my opinion. But nevertheless, it's really good formula, really nice blush, and I'm liking Kaleidos in general. My highlighter today is Cliona Tarte. I went a bit overboard, but I think it's okay. With the eyes today, seems fine. Doesn't really distract from the eyes, just combines into them. And on the lips I have MAC Grayish, very nice beige pencil if you're into that, and it's adding such a cool to neutral beige brown outline, so I'm really enjoying this pencil. And then I have Last Smoke, also by Kaleidos, and Last Smoke is slightly purplish, so it alters the color of the lip pencil a bit, but not too much. It's very cool gloss. So it's lip glaze, as they call it. Unfortunately, I broke this specific one. I dropped it from approximately my height, and the side, the bottle and the top where the screw things is, where the threading is, they just pop away from each other. So it's leaking for me, but I like this gloss and I don't want to throw it away, and that's why I'm using it as is, even though it's leaking. From time to time I'm actually wiping it. So I think that's pretty much it for now. That's all I had on my face, that's all I have to say. I do enjoy Provence. This palette is unexpected in combinations, but really nice in formula, and I'm pretty happy with that. So we have one more palette to go, which means 2 more looks. Hopefully I will be able to finish them in the nearest time, maybe today or tomorrow. Tomorrow most likely I will be doing something with it, but I'm super excited. It's really green as well, very bright and interesting, so we will see what I can create with that. On this note, I think I gotta go, and you are staying with me for 2 more looks. So, I am back and we're starting our Parks, National Parks USA palette. 2 looks as well with it, and I'm going to do the first one first. Funnily enough, I found some nice reference. It's not exactly what I was expecting it to be. I had no actual plan, to be honest, and it's fine. I can still work with some stuff even without a plan. So let's begin something interesting. From orange to green. It's going to be the opposite direction. I don't want to make the yellow inner corner anymore. It's been done too much in this review. So starting with Giant Redwoods, I am applying it into the inner part of my eye, but above the crease. I am blending it with a small brush, and it's actually very blendable. It's so nice and easy to work with, kind of having fun. Then I'm moving to the yellow called Old Faithful. That is going to be my next one, blending one into another. They work together wonderfully. This is truly awesome. I'm enjoying that. Then I'm going into the Everglades, which is nice green, very leafy green, and it kind of reminds me of another green from the Berlin palette, but I know that they are not exactly the same. I've been swatching them, and I know that they are not a perfectly the same color. They have different undertones, at least. And the last one will be the shade Blue Ridge Parkway. At first I'm taking the smaller brush, but then I decided to go into the bigger brush as well, just to have it on the side here, and I think it works. It's kind of a traffic light, a bit weird, but that's working in my opinion. And now I want to make it a bit more interesting, so I'm gonna cut the crease. I'm gonna cut it with that base by Gloss Gods and a little brush that is actually used for cleaning lashes. Not exactly the falsies, but like the ones that you get attached to you, like more permanently. I'm not sure. Lash extensions, I think it is. So I am just cutting it right above the crease where my fold is, so I can see a bit of the shiny shades later, and in the meantime it can all be just nice and cut. Then we are going to apply shades of sparkles right away onto this colored base. I'm not gonna do the base for them first. I want to see. They don't really have any too prominent base, but they do have a base anyway. So we will have 3 shades on the top lid and around 3 shades on the bottom lid. I will start with the shade called Delicate Arch. This is gonna be my first one into the inner corner. It's more of a rose gold color, and I'm stretching it to the bottom lid as well. Then by the bottom lid I will go into the other two shades right next to it. One is called Teton Range or Teton Range, and next after that it's the Mammoth Cave, because they are giving me an effect of brown, and this allows for a bit more interesting look on the bottom lid. It's more muted, so you have a bit more fun on the top, and you have this a bit more muted bottom, which is totally fine. And it's good to place some not so conventional sparkles sometimes into the bottom lid. So then the top, we are continuing with that. And finally I'm going into the Cuyahoga Valley, and this will be main lid shade. It's a duochrome as well. I can see that it's duochroming right away. Pink to yellow it is, I think. And then next to it will be Hoch Rainforest, the little green. It's actually one of those zebra shades in this palette. And it has a lot of golden sparkles with the green base, and that will be the idea. And then I'm taking the yellow Cuyahoga Valley one with my finger just to intensify the center and kind of mix things together a bit more. Okay, now I think I will add a bit of the Blue Ridge Parkway on a flat brush just by the edge from the green side, and the brown one called Half Dome to the other side where the orange is. This is not something I do regularly, as you may have noticed, but I think it's a very interesting thing to do nevertheless. So now I think I'm missing only the liner. And after that I will come back to you with the finished face. This is my traffic light makeup, and I am pretty happy about it. The blendability of the shades is so wonderful. These mattes are so non-problematic. It's just, you place it, you blend it, it's all going good. It's just so easy to work with. I am enjoying it a lot. If with Bella, for example, I have to work through, I have to understand how to get the shade to work. In this scenario, with all Nomad palettes, they are eyeshadow. They are so unproblematic. Just place, blend, all good. And you can see that they are pretty vibrant, but on the base, like a white base, they will be even more bright. And this is also really good. And if you are using like a colored base, that will be absolute bonkers. But even like without anything, even with the just on the regular base, they are really good. They are pretty damn vivid. I'm really liking it. The shiny shades are kind of nothing special. They're not as sparkly as in other two palettes, at least from what I see. And there is a multi-chrome, like duochrome, this one on the main area of the lid, but it's also very, very subtle. Yes, you can see it. You can see the pink to yellow, but it's nothing too crazy, I would say. We also have multicolored sparkles in the shade Teton Range or something like that, and it's on the bottom lid. It's unfortunately not very seen, but in the macro you probably can notice some sparkles there. It's just not anything crazy. This is gonna be more on the satin, more on the regular side, so these sparkles are not anything that you would want to wear on the festival, I guess. But for every day, if you are into slightly colored eyeshadow, I think that's great. So that's my thoughts so far. I still have 6 shades, actually 5 shades. I already touched the brown, but we have 6 shades to make another look with, and we have 4 of them being the sparkles. This is gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge, but I will get through that. I think it will be interesting, and I also like to work with Nomad a lot because of how unproblematic everything is. So, what else do I have in my face? In my waterline today I have Moira Cosmetics Electra pencil. This is a multi-chrome pencil, and they have 10 of them, different ones. I do recommend checking out Moira Cosmetics. They are pretty affordable, but very interesting stuff. So this one is Electra. Then the foundation is the same, MAC Studio and Bobbi Brown. Sephora Contour Stick, the same. My blush today is Jubilee by Danessa Myricks. I thought it's gonna be much more orange, but it's actually very nice. It's like a peachy something, and it's looking very, very nice on me. So if you're afraid of the darker colors, don't be. They are very blendable. Danessa Myrix knows what she's doing, and I just recommend her products because they are awesome. So, Jubilee. As my highlighter today, I have the metallic golden peach, this shade from Dior Rose Gold palette. It's just slightly, it has a base, and this base is a bit darker than I need for my skin tone. So if you're slightly more tan, this one will be great, but on the blush, it's kind of okay. So I get away with that by placing it on a blush. By itself, I would probably not use it. And on the lips, I have today Limitless Brown by Makeup Forever. Wonderful, warm toned brown pencil. And then I have She Fire by Huda Beauty. This is a faux filler from Icy something collection. So She Fire is caramel color and has a little bit of sparkles in it, which you can see in real life as well. It's good. I like the formula and I like these glosses. They are very smoothing. Yeah. So far, that is it, I think. For now, I'm done here and I will come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be Thursday. I'm really late with this review because of how many looks I have to do for it. And then I need to edit them as well. But that's the fun, isn't it? And I'm still very happy to work with everything and it's just so pleasurable. So see you tomorrow. Stay tuned for one more look together. So the last makeup look that we are doing together is gonna be just something relatively simple. I'm gonna show you how to cut the crease, basically, in an easy way, so to say, and let's just begin. First, I'm taking purple called South Rim, and it will be my kind of a blending shade. It's totally fine if it's not perfectly blended or anything, it's just going to be the outer shade, and I'm blending it all over around. And don't look that there's something in the center of the eyelid because of the blending. It doesn't matter, we will cut it out, but it's nice to set it around, and as you can see, it's very blendable, very easy to work with shade. Next, I'm taking the shade Half Dome. The brown will be darkest part in this one, and this is the way of how to build this cut crease kind of thing. When you're going from the middle shade to darker shade and just blend them into each other, it's not gonna be anything crazy really. So you can just not worry and do this kind of blending in a very chill manner. So the brown one is going to be, as you can see, I'm trying to avoid the center, but it doesn't really matter. As I said, we're going to cut it. But I'm doing the outline of the eye, and how to easily do it is just this way. Okay, now we're going to cut. And to cut the crease, I will use the Gloss Gods base, eyeshadow base, and a small brush for the lashes. So normally I go just by the very edge of my crease, but you can also apply the base or concealer or whatever you're using to your lash line, just a bit above the lash line, and look up to imprint it onto your eye. So where it's touching, basically going to be your crease, and this is where you just need to connect the lines and you will get this cut crease. And this is very easy way, and it's kind of, well, not exactly symmetrical, but more symmetrical than sometimes you can do by hand. So this is just a way to cut your crease easily, to find the place where to do it. Then I'm filling up the inner part, all the moving lid, with that base. And on this note, I'm taking the flat brush, just a big flat brush, and I am going into the shade Arcadia Lighthouse. This will be the main lead shade, and I'm placing it right into the center so that it will be blue. And onto the outer edge, because we have brown there, I want to place also something brownish, the shade called Big Bend, and it will try to connect to the blue. It's not exactly like matching shade or anything, but it's gonna work. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. And into the inner portion of the eye, into the inner corner, I will place the silver. The zebra shade is actually called Mount Denali, and it's silver. when you mix things together. So I'm taking it onto the silicone brush K1 by Nomad Cosmetics and just applying it into the inner corner. These shades are best to be applied with fingers or with that flat brush. So just so you know, it's not the best to be applied with this Nomad Cosmetics brush. Silicone brush is not taking this texture very nicely. So, and onto the lower lid, I wanted to place the only one shade left, which called the Narrows. It's somewhat bronzy, very warm one, and it's just gonna be there on the lower lid. At this point, I think I will only need to do the eyeliner. I will do it in black, and after that, I will come back to you with the finished face. This is the last look with the last palette from this review, and I combined everything that was not touched, which resulted in such a weird makeup. It still kind of works together, but it turns out that the blue one is the least interesting out of them, and blue one should have been added to the green to make it a bit more interesting and stuff like that, because all the other shades in this makeup are like with the colored sparkles or with the extra sparkles. The silver one, that is zebra shade, it's actually silver when you mix things together. It's very sparkly. It has a lot of little tiny pieces that reflect light, and it gives a crazy sparkle on under the electric light or in the sunlight. So if you like something like that but don't want the silver, actually you can just do scratch it basically. So you apply it with a finger, you scratch it away, like you put it onto your palm, and then you tap from it to the eye, and it will look like little tiny sparkles all over. It's very pretty, and it's actually very useful. And if you want, you can just use the silver as it is and blend it slightly, and it's also a really good and easy way to work with such shades. The other two have multicolored sparkles, so I saw a lot of colored sparkles here on the outer edge and in the bottom lash line because of these two shades. And yeah, the least interesting is the blue. Unfortunately, it only has a bit of a golden sparkles and nothing else is in it. I'm not mad at this. I also added a silver liner. Silver liner I'm mixing out of the Maroon metallic powder and Duraline. Metallic powder is made for such kind of things. It is cosmetic use, but you need to avoid contact with the eyes. So on the lash line, I only applied it to the outer edge where the lashes are and not to the inside, so that you don't repeat similar things. Just use it on the outer areas. And that will be pretty much it. The brown and purple actually mix into something, as you can see on me. It's more of a brown to orange, and I wanted something like orange to blue, but blue is not as bright, and it turned out a bit weird in my opinion. I don't know what you think, but I'm not mad, but I'm not really loving it. That's kind of the vibe I'm having. And I am also using that silver shade from the palette as my highlighter today. As I said, I just wiped most of it into my palm and dabbed whatever is left to the skin, and then it doesn't have this base, it just has the little sparkles. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't see any creasing, I had no problems with the mattes, the blendability is great as always, and some interesting combinations can be achieved with this Parks palette. And I think that's pretty much it for now. What else do I have on my face? The same foundation, MAC plus Bobbi Brown, the same contour stick by Sephora. Then I have Rosé and Brunch by Danessa Myricks. It's giving me a bit of a flush, which is exactly what it says here. It's Yummy Skin Flushed or something like that. So it's giving a bit of a nice vibe. Also added a bit of sprinkled a bit of freckles. Freckles I'm making with the L'Oreal in dark blonde. Dark blonde because if I take the red one, if I take the red one, it's going to be a bit too intense, and this one is more like how it's supposed to be for me. But if you are ginger, if you are red or dark, then you can use the one that is the red wood or something like that. So it's just a L'Oreal Magic Touch, and I am closing my eyes when I'm spraying this. So it's only getting onto the foundation here in the nose area and the cheeks and nothing else. Then highlighter I already said about. Then I have the Peach by Colourpop, very chocolatey. I love this color and it's very nice. It's like the dark chocolate everybody was searching for. And as my lipstick today, I have the Hydrating Gloss Serum NYX IV Lip Eve. I'm not sure if it's Lip 4 or Lip Eve. And this shade is Espresso Soak. So it's nice chocolate color. It's not very even when you apply it or you smack your lips, but it's very comfortable to wear and leaves a stain. A little bit of a tint, so to say. And it's made in Korea, by the way. So that's why probably it's so comfortable. So I am loving it. I think this is great and justified. And this was the last look that we did together. I will do one more outside of this camera with a vertical one, so you would not miss anything. I'm thinking about something rainbowy because June, you know, and I like to do rainbow makeups and I like to support Pride Month. So that's what I am going to do. And just in the next time we see each other, I will just say a couple things, couple words about the pricing, about the grams in the palettes and what I think in general about them. And that will be it. So I will see you in a moment, but tomorrow for me. So this is my final look for this review and generally for this video. I also did it with two palettes of Nomad Cosmetics. One is the Provence and the other one is National Parks. I used the green from National Parks and all other shades are actually technically from the Provence. So it's almost rainbow palette. And I'm super happy with how my Pride look turned out. I'm really excited and I think it's pretty clean job in this case and it's very bright and it doesn't have any base under it. So these bright colors are what you get in the palette and it's awesome. My main lead, however, is done with Velvet Dreams by Carla Cosmetics. This is a pressed multi-chrome rainbow. So you can find this probably in other brands as well, like Lethal Cosmetics recently released something similar, but not exactly. And this one is super pretty. I am just very happy that I have it. I bought it in the bundle and last year, I think, and I really like how it looks on the skin. I also use it as a highlighter, so you can just swipe it with a finger and apply, and this is what I got. And the little liner by the crease is made with Color Case by Mitchell, so I am fully in here. I am living this rainbow. And on this note, let's have a look on our palettes. We have 3 of them at the same time, and this is the first review that I ever did with multiple palettes in one. I am not usually doing it like that because I feel like every palette deserves full time, full video, and especially if it has multiple shades, I think it's best to get every single one and touch every single one. That's why I like to do 4 to 5 looks with the palette in scope of the review. However, this is an exception. This is a 10-year anniversary re-release. All 3 palettes were previously available at Nomad, but they are like fan favorites and they were brought back. Each of them is like marked with a 10-year anniversary, so you will not mess up. And they were changed slightly. Unfortunately, I don't have the original ones. I was not around Nomad Cosmetics when that was initially released around 2021, and I don't have a comparison. What I do have though is swatches that I can show, and for each of them they have their unique stories, but all of them kind of have the common vibe. I would explain it like that. And as you can see, combined they can produce a bit of the rainbow sparkles and, well, like rainbows and sparkles. So let's start with, so packaging is regular cardboard, and we have cardboard palettes as usual. There is nothing that changed for Nomad. I think it's recycled cardboard in this case, so they are all pretty much the same. You also get this 10-year anniversary on the palette itself, so you will not forget that it's a very specific one. So we have it 15 shades, 1.5 gram each, typical for Nomad, nothing changed here. This palette is more of a punk grunge to me. Oh, I'm losing some stuff. And it got a makeover, and it got some duochrome shifts, and it got a lot more sparkles, and we have 5 mattes. However, 5 mattes in this case are enough. They produce very interesting variety of looks. You have something to blend into the skin, you have something to darken completely, you have something like a mid-tone that you can choose from, and they work together really nicely. And sparkles in this palette are insane. They're super sparkly, which I truly enjoy. So you have a couple golds, couple bronze, couple other shades, so you can combine them together. You have a very nice duochrome that you can use as a highlighter as well. It has a transparent base, looks white, but actually it's not, and it has a little green-ish shift. And I am loving this palette. It's number 2 for me, actually, so I'm really liking this palette in general. This is a typical Nomad formula, nothing changed with that. So your mattes are really blendable, easily blendable as well. And the sparkles have no troubles, so you can just apply it all over the lid and be happy with your look. So, as I said, this one is a bit more grunge vibe, underground, as you can see, and has a little punk skull as a, I don't know if you can call it a mascot, but kind of is. So very interesting palette. Then my first favorite is actually this Provence, and it supports the bee conservancy. That's why you have little bees all over this. So if you open the palette, there are a couple bees inside. So you can see these sparkling little bees. And it's colors of the flowers. It's colors of the lavender fields, it's colors of the flower fields, it's colors of France. And I am really happy with this one. You have a bit more mattes in this palette, and you have interesting sparkles. However, the texture on these ones is not my favorite. It's more like a kinetic sand texture. So it's still totally fine to apply to your lids. It's not scratchy or anything. It's just a bit more on the weird side to me because of how I perceive texture, probably. Not because of something wrong with that. They are super cool in brightness. As you can see, as I said, I used this palette specifically for my rainbow, except the green. The green I took from the parks, and this palette allows to create such vibrant, nice colors. You have the more of a pastel colors, and you have more of a bright colors. You can blend into the skin with the pastels more easily, and then you can darken it up with these tones to make it a bit more interesting. So I love this palette. It's super summery. It's like a summer cocktail in a palette, and this one is my favorite probably. I'm just really excited about it for some reason. So this, as I said, this supports bees, which is also a great cause. I am really liking it. And the same story, 15 shades, 1.5 grams each, recycled cardboard. So still super sturdy. Very nice one. Now, the most interesting in design, but the least interesting in color story for me personally, once again, the America's Parks. We have 15 shades, 1.5 gram each. As usual, we have 9 mattes, and we have others as sparkles. The sparkles can be a bit more interesting. The quality of mattes is absolutely great, like in other palettes, so there is no change to that. The greens are not actually repetitive to Berlin, so if you are confused about that, no, they're not the same, and they are different, a bit different hues, a bit different depth. So this palette is on the nude side with a bit of a colored accent to me because of the sparkles that are mostly, as you can see, on the nude-ish side. You also have very interesting yellow, which I think duochrome somewhere, and you have this very interesting zebra shade that is a silver, like it's nice and silvery. You can combine them however you want, and they are very blendable. They are working great. So any of these 3 palettes will work great. And this one is just personally for me a bit more on the weird side by the color story, but that's nothing crazy. It still works together. I just made a weirdest makeup at the end, so that's personal stuff. It's supposed to be I think it's supposed to actually give support to America's parks, the national parks in the USA, but for some reason here it says about the Bee Conservancy as well. So I'm not sure if that's right. Maybe it was a mistake in production, maybe not, but yeah. I think it's supposed to support the national parks somehow. And these are the 3 palettes, and all I did with them, really it was very interesting to work with. And as I said, this is the first video when I'm doing few palettes. I need more time. It's my creativity just needs more time, not 2 looks per palette but more, so I can tell more about the whole situation. But nevertheless, I really like them. They are available as a bundle on the website, and you get 20% off, I believe, for them if you buy in the bundle. So there is a specific discount code. Right now they are showing to me as 123.95 euros, and I think you apply the code and you get it around 99 euros, and to Germany it's free shipping from 100, something like that. And separately they each cost, until some time, until 1st July, I think they will cost 39, which is original price for the palettes when they were first released. But right now it's a 41.95 in euros. So if you're interested in only 1 palette, and I would recommend you getting either the super cocktaily one Provence or the grungy punk sparkling goodness Berlin. Yeah, but if you love parks, it's also good. It's nothing wrong, it's just my personal preference. And yeah, so that's the price. I'm not sure if you can apply my code, which is I'm leaving below. I have no idea if you can apply it, or if it's gonna stack or not, if you're gonna buy all of them or not. And it's just, I really enjoyed doing the looks with them, and I'm really thankful to the brand for sending them to me for collection and for playing around as well. And let's have a look on the things that I created with them, just so you can choose maybe something and tell me about it in the comment. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. I am pleased with everything that I did, except one, but it doesn't matter. And I'm super happy with this look as well. And I'm super happy that I am in this wonderful opportunity with Nomad Cosmetics, and they send me something and I can review it for you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and enjoyed sitting with me as much as I enjoyed filming this video, which took me quite a few days, to be honest. And on this note, thank you so much for watching, and we see each other in some very exciting video soon. So subscribe to the channel and all of that stuff. And bye!